am a robot. Robots are not funny. Robots have no hair. Robots cannot eat pizza. Robots don't wear underwear. I am a robot. Be glad you are not a robot. I am a robot. I am a robot.
Aw, what a cute little robot.
No.
Jeez, oh jeez.
Hello everyone, I'm Kristen from Challenge Island, Central PA. Thanks for joining us today. I have our friend, Mr. Mike, all the way from Michigan joining us today too, and we are going to learn together about the Magnus effect, and we're going to make a challenge right along with him.
Hey, my name is Mike Peterson with Challenge Island, Oakland County East, and this is the first of our Steamtastic Friday sessions. So we're going to show you a real quick experimental fun thing you can put together that demonstrates some cool steam principles. So today's project is what we call the Magnus Spinner. So a few ingredients we need for this. So all you need is a couple cups. Those can be paper cups, solo cups, any kind of 2 cups about the same. Tape, painter's tape works great, or masking tape's fine too, any kind of tape. And then just 5 or 6 regular rubber bands should be enough. All right, so the way we put this together, you'll take those 2 cups, put them together so that the 2 bottoms are against each other. So I'll stack those up. Just take a good piece of tape. To hold this together, you might want to put a piece of tape on there lengthwise just to get them together. But the important thing is to get tape wrapped around it so that those 2 halves of those 2 cups are tightly together. So I got 1 piece of tape there. Feel free to use as much tape as you want for this. The important thing is that they just stay together good. All right, so that's our spinner part. Now we need a way to wind it up. So what we'll do is we're going to make a chain out of the rubber bands. So the way to do that, so if you can watch closely, this can be a little tricky here. So we're going to put them together 2 rubber bands at a time. So you're going to take one and a second one, then you want to hang the second one off the first one, so it kind of makes a T shape. So I've got some tape on mine just so you can kind of follow what's happening here. In real life, don't worry about taping it. This is just to show you how these go together here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of let it hang down. So the one I've got between my hands, we're going to make a knot out of this one. So I'm going to pass, if you watch that end with the blue on it, we're going to pass that end inside the other end of that top one. So they've crossed through there. And then we're going to pull it together and make a nice knot out of that. So when you're all done, don't worry too much about what the knot looks like. The important thing is just that they go together good. Okay, so there's 2 of them. Just to save a little time, I've put one together here. So once you get those 5 or 6 together, you should get a nice long chain like this. Again, it doesn't matter too much how long it is. 4 or 5 should be just fine. All right, now we're ready to launch. So first, to explain the science behind this real quick before the grand finale. This uses what we call the Magnus effect. So this is the same effect that takes place when a pitcher throws a curveball or when Serena or Venus Williams shoot their tennis ball. So when a ball spins, it kind of does this as it goes through the air. So as it's hitting that air as it goes across, some of the air is coming across the top of the cup as it's kind of spinning against the air, and some of the air goes across the bottom of it. But since those are 2 different things going on there, that's going to push the cup up and down in the air. So instead of it just flying straight through there, thanks to that spinning, we're going to get some pressure difference that's going to cause it to fly up and down and do some pretty cool stuff. All right, so let's see if we can make that happen. So we're going to take our, all right, so we've got our rubber bands, we've got our cups put together. Now we're going to wrap our rubber band chain around the middle of those cups. So don't have to be too fancy with this, just kind of hold on to it so it doesn't fall off of there. Give it a couple good twists, and then get the bottom of it so it's kind of coming out of the bottom, so it's underneath the cups. That seems to work best. So we're going to stretch that out, so just like you're shooting a rubber band is what we're aiming for. So we're going to hold back with the cups with our other hand, and then we're going to give it a shoot. So 3, 2, 1, shoot! All right, so instead of flying straight, see how it went kind of up and down? So that was that Magnus effect, taking a hold of our cups and making some crazy things happen. All right, thank you very much for watching.
Hi friends, welcome back. I was building right along with you. I went ahead and found some flame tape which made mine go even faster. I hope you learned a lot with us today in a short period of time. Please come back and see us online. We have both our website and Facebook. Every Saturday is Steam Building Saturday, so follow us, Challenge Island, Central PA. And while you're online, go to www.challenge-island.com/centralpa.
Hello, Harrisburg. Welcome to Story Time with Mayor Pappenfuss. I want you to know I got all dressed up for this event. Do you like my tie? I picked it out especially for you. And I've got my glasses on, so I'm going to be able to read some of my favorite books. And the first Storytime book I want to read to you is by one of my favorite authors, Vashti Harrison. Vashti came to Harrisburg not long ago and is a terrific author. And I think you're going to like the book, Follow Your Dreams, Little One. Follow your dreams. Follow your dreams, little one. There's so much good you can do. Just look at all the legends who came before you. Raise your voice, like Langston, James, and Andre. Langston Hughes wrote poems about black pride. James Baldwin spoke in a way that made people want to listen. Andre Leon Talley showed that grace and kindness are always in style. Use your art, like Aaron, Gordon, and David. Aaron Douglas made paintings for and about black people. Gordon Parks focused his camera on troubles in America. Sir David Adjaye designed buildings inspired by people and culture. You can reach new heights like Alvin, Arthur, Bill, John, and Leland. Alvin Ailey danced all around the world. Arthur Ashe proved that even a quiet person can be a big voice for change. Bill Russell always tried to be the best teammate he could be. John Robinson taught black pilots how to fly. Leland Melvin worked hard enough to travel into space. You can also make a difference, like Garrett, Arturo, and Charles. Garrett Morgan was an inventor and a hero. Arturo Schomburg collected stories of Africans from around the world. Charles R. Drew had an idea that saved a lot of lives. Stand up for what's right, like Harry, Bass, Frederick, and Thurgood. Harry Belafonte led the way for so many as a musician, an actor, and an activist. Bass Reeves was a lawman who protected good guys and animals alike. Frederick Douglass wrote his story and spoke up for those who couldn't. And Thurgood Marshall fought for equal rights as a lawyer and a judge. Wherever you go, whatever you see, reach for the stars and always be the best that you can be. Thanks for listening and watching today. I'll be back with another story next time.
What do you read, my lord? Words, words, words.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Shakespeare's World! I'm Melissa Nicholson, Executive Director of Gamut Theater, and today we're going to share with you some of the famous and not so famous words that Shakespeare created. And to make it more interesting, we have some of my Theater Basics students to help us out.
Hi, Miss Melissa.
Hello, Miss Melissa.
Hi, Miss Melissa.
Hello. Hi, Miss Melissa. Hello.
Now, keep in mind, my Theater Basics class was working on an adaptation of Little Red Riding Hood when class was canceled due to COVID-19. I have not taught Shakespeare to this particular group of students in any way. They were not allowed to be coached at all by their parents when asked the questions. So I think they're very brave for participating. So let's get started, shall we? My first question is, who or what is a Shakespeare?
It is a drawing.
Shakespeare is not a drawing, Austin, although there are some pretty famous drawings of Shakespeare. For example, this one.
A person that created poems and plays.
That's right, Maddie. Shakespeare was a poet and a playwright. His poems were called sonnets. My next question is, how old is Shakespeare?
I'm guessing a little over 400 years old.
Yes, James. Shakespeare lived over 400 years ago. He was 52 years old when he died at... Wait a minute. I'm 52 years old. Well, while I think about that, you think about, where did Shakespeare live?
In Canada?
In the farmhouse.
Nice guesses. Shakespeare lived in Stratford-upon-Avon in England, not Canada. Although there is a really great Shakespearean theater in Canada called the Stratford Festival. But I digress. So that could be a little confusing. If you visited that festival, you might think Shakespeare is from Canada. Shakespeare was the son of a glove maker, but his mother came from a farming family, so I'm sure she grew up in a farmhouse. So why is Shakespeare so famous?
Because he wrote a lot of plays.
Yep, Isabella, he wrote a lot of plays. I always heard he wrote 37 plays, but some credit him with 38, 39. I even read one that said 41 plays. And if you believe in the conspiracy theories, he wrote 0. But that's a bunch of malarkey. Anyway, the point is, he wrote a lot of plays and sonnets. From the Shakespeare Book of Lists, written by my good friend Michael LaMonaco, Michael tells us, Shakespeare's working vocabulary was huge. He used 27,870 different words. The average person today uses somewhere between 7,500 and 10,000 words. The point is, the man wrote a lot of words. And sometimes the word didn't exist for what he wanted to say. So he made up new words. Some of those words became common everyday words that we still use today. Words like
Invitation. Employment. Laughable. Compromise.
And some words we still use today, but they're a little fancier. Let's see if some of my Theater Basics students know some of these fancy words.
It's a cap that makes you mad. A very mad cap.
Without passion.
A funny person.
A funny person that does what?
Comedy.
I think it means equivalent because it sort of matches up with the word equivalent.
Scuffle is a tree. A scuffle is a tree.
Phew! Some of those fancy words were hard, am I right? Sometimes Shakespeare put together two words to make up a new word. Now, some words were created by Shakespeare that we don't use in our everyday language, but we should because they are awesome. Words like boggler,
Eyeglasses?
oh, that's a good guess, Annika. But boggler means someone who hesitates, a slowpoke. How about an addle-egg?
Adelaide. Is it a fake portrait of an egg? Because I think it's a fake egg.
A fake egg. Maybe.
An egg that's about to hatch.
I think it's a figure of speech.
What do you think an addle egg is? Is it A, a lopsided egg, B, an egg with two yolks, C, a rotten egg, or D, a person who has bad luck? It's C, a rotten egg. Next, what is a true penny?
A kind of coin? A little small, a medium coin.
A penny.
All right, friends at home, what is a true penny? Are the kids right? Is it A, a coin, B, a penny from Shakespeare's time, C, a pig pen, or D, a trusty person? It's D, a trusty person. What is a slug-a-bed? A slug-a-bed.
A villain?
A sled for sliding downstairs?
So what is a slug-a-bed? Is it A, a lazy person, B, 3 or more slugs found in the garden, C, a villain, or D, an unmade bed? It's A, a lazy person who doesn't like to get out of bed. What a slug-a-bed. Our last Shakespeare word that hardly anyone uses today, but everyone absolutely should, is flapdragon. Let's ask the kids.
It is dragon with big wings that flaps the wings. A plant.
A rectangle with a head and a tail.
I think it's a type of mythical creature that is by Shakespeare.
Here's your last chance to take a guess. The Shakespeare word is flapdragon. Is it A, a mythical creature, B, a flower found only in the fairy kingdom, C, a raisin soaked in brandy and set on fire, or D, a pancake-like bread with peppers in it? The answer is C, a raisin soaked in brandy and set on fire. In Love's Labour's Lost, Costard says, "Thou art easier swallowed than a flapdragon." Try that at your next Thanksgiving dinner. We hope you enjoyed this installment of Learn Something New, and hopefully you will all have a better and bigger vocabulary the next time I see you. As you know, Gamut Theater is closed, and we could really use your help. So if you're in a position to do so and you can make a donation, please visit gamuttheater.org/donate. Again, that's gamuttheater.org/donate. But the best thing you can do is keep sharing our videos, and just remember, we haven't gone away. We're still here, and we can't wait to do plays for you again. In the meantime, we've come up with some new programming that we think is a lot of fun that we hope you take advantage of. We have Once Upon Online parties for kids ages 5 to 9. We have the Gamut Theater Summer Virtual Academy coming up for kids ages 8 to 16, and that has a fabulous faculty, and it's going to be a really fun program. We just had our first meetings with that group, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, people can do a Gamut game time with us, where we will visit your happy hour, your graduation, birthday, or special event virtually, and play a whole game show with your group. So all of these things we're doing just to stay connected with all of you and keep afloat until we can tell our classic stories again in new and exciting ways. Once again, I want to thank all of my Theater Basics students that helped with today's episode. Annika, Austin, Charlie, Isabella, James, and Madeline. Thanks, and thanks to my daughter Carolina for filming today. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Here's a fun little song called Happy Go Lucky Shoes. Did I hear you say you're feeling sort of bad? Did I hear you say you're feeling kind of sad? I tell you what you gotta do, take a little walk in your happy-go-lucky shoes. Yeah. Did I hear you say your friend is feeling bad? Did I hear you say your friend is lonely and they're feeling sad? I'll tell you what you gotta do, give your friend a pair of happy-go-lucky shoes. Happy-go-lucky shoes. Happy-go-lucky shoes. I'm gonna be happy, that's my attitude, in my happy-go-lucky shoes. Will they make me wanna jump, jump? Come on, jump, 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 jump. Put your hands in the air and jump, 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 jump a little higher. Did I hear you say you're feeling better now? Did I hear you say you're feeling good? Good, and how? I'll tell you what you gotta do. Keep walking through life in your happy-go-lucky shoes. Hey, hey, yeah. Happy-go-lucky shoes. Happy-go-lucky shoes. I'm gonna be happy. That's my attitude in my happy-go-lucky shoes. Well, they make me wanna jump, jump. Come on and jump, jump. Jump, jump. Put your hands in the air and jump, jump. Jump, jump. Jump a little higher and clap your hands. Detroit, Chicago, or LA, I'm wearing them every day. My happy-go-lucky shoes. My happy-go-lucky shoes. Jingle, jingle, jingle all night and day. Hey, jingle, 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 let's play. Shake, shake your jingle, shake your jingle all night and day. Shake, shake your jingle. Shake, 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 let's play. Hey, jingle, jingle, jingle all night and day. Hey, jingle, 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 let's play. Jingle, jingle all night and day. Hey, jingle, 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 let's play. Jingle, 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 let's play. Jingle, 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 let's play. Jingle, 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 let's play.
Okay, hello Harrisburg. You just tuned into the Spicy Slice of Life. I'm your host, Alex Atwood, and today we have two special guests. Please introduce yourselves.
Good morning. I'm Fire Chief Brian Enderline.
Cool.
Good morning. I'm firefighter Shakur Hakeem Ale.
Cool. You guys look a little tense today.
Tense? Are you kidding me?
No. We run through burning buildings. Never that.
Cool. Okay. Here's our first question. So, at what age did you guys decide to become firefighters?
Go ahead, El.
For me, it was the age of 24, but I didn't become a fireman to the age of 30. So I've actually been a career fireman with the city of Harrisburg now for 17 years.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a long time. How about you?
I got involved when I was a young kid hanging out at the fire station, and when I turned 16 in 1989 is when I got involved. I got involved in the city of Harrisburg in 1994 as a volunteer, and then in 2000 I got hired as a career firefighter.
Wow, that's a long time.
It was probably a little before you were born, right?
A little bit.
A little bit. Why, you haven't thoughts of it?
Yeah, I've had some thoughts of being a firefighter.
Yeah.
Thought it was always pretty cool.
It is cool.
So, what kind of training does it take to become a firefighter?
Do you mean, well, as far as to come onto the job, or as far as just getting involved in firefighting alone, I guess? Which aspects? I don't know if I'm understanding your question correctly.
So, to get involved in firefighting.
Well, in the volunteer world, I probably had to let the chief answer more of that, because there were different programs he took on at a younger age. For when I came on, I actually came into the city of Harrisburg as a career fireman. Went through HAC, was our training facility. We had Firefighter 1, Firefighter 2 skill set trainings that we had to take. We also had to take EMT classes. Then once completion and graduating from HAC, and once we got on the job, we actually still had a lot more on training that we had to do while we were in our probation stage. So it's a lot, but it's nothing to complain about, because you understand that this is your career. You understand that it's your livelihood, your life's on the line, your partner's life's on the line, and then you're doing something for the citizens of Harrisburg, or also the visitors of Harrisburg. So you need to better yourself. You meet people at the worst time in their life sometimes, so you want to try to do your best that you're capable of helping them out in life, if that's the case. So, there's a lot to it, but there's always training all the time. It's intense, but if you gotta have an adrenaline rush, you want to enjoy it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So, what about you? What kind of training did you have to go through?
I think to look at training for a firefighter in general, what we live by is you can never train enough for a job that can kill you. And I think when you look at it from that perspective, fire can take your life in a half a heartbeat. So whether that's for a citizen or for a firefighter, you can never train enough for that job. So when I was a volunteer, there wasn't a lot of standards to live by. In some instances, back prior to a lot of the standards and things that came out to guide training, you could literally sign up to be a firefighter one day and be on the fire truck the next with absolutely no training at all. And we've progressed that, as Firefighter L said, that, everybody has to have Firefighter 1, Firefighter 2, so there's a lot of basic training. Kind of like going in the military, it's the basic training for the firefighter. But then once you come out of the academy, there's a lot of technical things. So you're not going to learn how to, say, rescue somebody out of a trench or a confined space. A construction worker gets stuck down in a sewer. Well, they don't teach you that at the fire academy. That's a specialized class. So it's a constant training evolution that we have to do. And so every day that our firefighters are working, they're doing something that's training related to either keep their skills proficient or to build new skills.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes, mentally and physically. Yeah. Different techniques. Just like when you went to school, there's always something new happening every day, every month, and every year.
Wow.
So, mm-hmm.
So you talked about rescuing somebody out of a sewer. That leads to our next question. So, what do firefighters do other than put out fires?
And save cats from trees. Oh, wow. Okay, well, aspect everyone thinks fireman, firefighter, fighting fires. The chief spoke about trench, confined space, rope. We, on the river, some water rescuing, swimming. Man, there's my favorite. I like part of outside fight fire is trench. Trench. I like rope. I like rappelling. There is multiple different training skills. That you wouldn't say that we do everything. We like the Marines, for real. There's nothing that we don't do. You name it, whatever problem you have, we'll even come to your house, do some concrete work if needed be. That kind of simple stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys do a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the general public believes that unless something's on fire, the fire department doesn't respond. And that may have been true 50 years ago, but the fire and emergency services, fire departments specifically, have become what we consider an all hazards rescue, fire and rescue agency. So when you look at things, the water rescue, the trench rescues, the high angle rescues, those types of things. But there's also the other things that we do now. If somebody goes into cardiac arrest, we also go on medical calls. So because of the way we have our stations staffed across the city, sometimes we're there before the ambulance and make a difference in bringing somebody back to life with an AED and CPR. So that's something that the fire departments of yesterday never had done. And that's something that we've evolved into to do those types of things. Vehicle accidents. Up until 1999 or 2000, the fire department didn't even respond on vehicle accidents unless somebody was trapped. And now we go on vehicle accidents on nearly a daily basis. So it's those types of things. Odors of different odors inside of a home. If somebody can't figure out what it is, well, you're not going to call the doctor, you're not going to call the lawyer, you're not going to call the ambulance, so you call the fire department. So we go and investigate those types of things and try and figure out and help the resident to figure out what they got going on in their home. A hot water heater breaks and there's water going all over the place. We go in and help get that, secure the water and maybe put some tarps down to protect their valuables and things like that. So there's a lot of things that go on where the news doesn't show up, so the public doesn't really know what we're doing. And water rescues, obviously in Harrisburg with the river, and we have some localized flooding on rain events. That's a big issue as well. So our guys are all trained in water rescue and not just driving a boat around, but actually performing rescues in places like the Dock Street Dam. Our guys were just in Delaware County 2 days ago during the hurricane to assist their swift water rescue teams in doing some rescues down there. So there's a lot more to it anymore than just going to a fire.
Wow.
Everything.
So how many calls do you guys get per day?
You just read my mind because I'm thinking he's going to ask how many calls do we go on. So on a daily basis, it's very tough to say, but because it varies so much. One day we could have literally no calls at all, and the next day in an 8-hour period you could have 15 or 20. So it varies day by day, depends on weather. If we're having a storm or snowstorm, a lot more calls just because things happen in stormy weather. But overall, on an annual basis, we do about 2,700 calls for service every year. So that's both in the city, and then we also respond mutual aid out. So around 2,700 per year.
Wow. So what kind of tools do you use on a daily basis?
Well, each apparatus has designated tools. For instance, like for me uptown, I work on Wagon 3 uptown. So I work on some say pumper, some say wagon, some say engine. So our crew has the water. So we have a 500-gallon tank on our vehicle. Excuse me, our purpose is to connect to the fire hydrant. Mm-hmm. We're 3 on a rig. So we have a driver, we have someone up front, and we have someone in the rear. So then our vehicle also does vehicle extrication. So we have a portable amicus tool which will help us, vehicle accidents. So then you actually beside us, we have a tiller truck, and our tiller is our ladder crew. Mm. They're supplied with different ropes, other different pieces. So every rig that's in the city may carry something extra than the other piece. And then we also have a rescue truck too if we get stuff that's out of hand that we need to have our crew bring in our heavy equipment vehicle type stuff to do trenches or confined space. So, but for us uptown on Wagon 3, our job is to try to put the fire out. Not try, but put the fire out.
Look a little sweaty.
Oh.
Want to drink some water?
I'm nervous. No, I'm good.
You guys want to drink some water?
No,
I'm free to drink water. Okay.
I need a towel. Makeup.
Cool. Would you say that you have a dangerous job?
That's a double-edged sword.
I don't know if I think like that no more. If you don't mind. When I came into the career, but that's why you train. I said, fear. You know who you're dealing with. So you train, you prepare. It can be dangerous, but I don't look at it like that. I don't know if that's weird, but I don't. I don't look at it as dangerous.
Would you say that you have a difficult job?
Now, that one I will say, yeah. Yeah, I will go with difficult.
I would say that too.
Yeah, difficult. But, yeah.
How long does it usually take to put out a fire?
Oof. It depends on how bad the fire is. Depends on where the fire is located in the building. Depends on how much of the building is burning. So we can literally go in and have a kitchen fire under control in, say 5 minutes or less. But you might get a fire that is deep-seated in the walls and ceilings and extend into multiple buildings, and it might take an hour or two to be able to get control of it. So it just depends on, fire dynamics plays and that's some of the training that we look at, when from building construction. Is it in a brick building with wood joists, or is it in an all steel building, steel and concrete building, kind of like we're in today doing this interview? So is there a fire protection system? Isn't there a fire protection system? There's a lot of things that goes into it. So 5 minutes, you can have a good knock on a fire pretty quick on a just basic, simple kitchen fire, or if it's well involved, it could be a couple of hours until we get full control of it.
So what's the worst fire that you guys have ever seen during your career?
Oh man, you want to talk about that?
From the residents' perspective, I think any fire that we go to is bad. When we're called out, for us, it's a job, right? It's our calling, it's what we do, and it's what we get paid to do. So it's an event for us, but it's not it's just a normal day's work. But for the citizen that we're going to help, it is probably the most significant event that's happening or going to happen in their lives. And so, when you look at it, any fire is a significant event for the residents. The ones when you start to have injuries, and whether that's to a firefighter or to a resident, and even worse than that, when you go on a fatal fire, it totally changes the mood of the firefighters. It totally changes the mood of the community. When we look at a fatal fire, and I don't want to point any out because in 20-some years I've been on too many fatal fires where people have died. We lost one of our own firefighters in a vehicle accident going to a fire in 2017, and those are the ones that just stick with you. And that's the backside of the job that nobody really sees. And when we specifically look at fire deaths, where a child or an adult dies in a fire, firefighters really take the blame for that because it's just the way that we're built. We're there to fix a problem, and when somebody's died, we believe that we failed and didn't fix the problem. So psychologically, that becomes those things build up in you, and it really affects firefighters in a negative way, quite honestly. I think that to put one fire would be a disservice to the other people that I've seen on their worst day. So any fire where somebody dies is tragic. And some of the other things that tug at you as a firefighter, folks that can't afford insurance and they own a home, and they have a home that somewhere where they can call, it's their place, right? And it's destroyed by fire and they have no insurance, and then they're kind of stuck. Those are always tough. When you watch a mother or a grandmother that cries because they lost photographs of somebody that they loved, maybe a husband that passed away or something like that. The only thing that they had was a couple of photos, and now those photos are destroyed by the fire. Those are all significant events for everybody.
It hurts a little bit as he's speaking because he's telling the truth. Is the difficulty you ask, the emotions, and he's correct. You can't pinpoint what was the worst day of your day at your career here at the job. It's in the back of your head. You try to do the best that you can do to try to block it. Counseling helps. Talking about it helps. You don't want to carry stuff, but you want to have an understanding. And for me, I guess I'm getting to that stage where I'm becoming a senior man. Mm-hmm. So I look at it as a duty for myself when a younger firefighter has an episode to go speak to them. Give them what happened to me. Mm-hmm. Maybe do that, what's that called, that Monday morning quarterback. You do all that, as what the chief said. You play all that out in your mind. But you got to talk to the younger staff to help them get through something emotional. Because he's right. You can't pick one fire over another fire, which may hurt you because you'll be disrespecting the other residents in the city of Harrisburg. But as a whole, you have to try to do your best to, what's the word I want to use? You want to do your best to try to make everyone as comfortable as possible as you can do. So, yeah, that's the topic, brother. That's the topic. Yeah.
So what do you guys think is the easiest way to prevent a fire?
I'll take the easy way out on that one. When you look at our high-rise buildings, a sprinkler system, a fire sprinkler system is a number one way that's going to protect people.
Smoke detectors.
But the cheapest and most efficient working smoke alarms. And we go out and install them nearly on I don't want to say a daily basis. Weekly, we're installing smoke alarms in somebody's house. So that is a surefire way to protect you and your family. So we install them for free, and you get to, as Elle will tell you, when you're out installing them, you get to meet a lot of cool people that live in our city too. So
yeah, education also. I like how we do have a junior fire setter program. We have programs where we go into the schools and talk to the children. We educate. So even if we go into the homes where the elderly live, you educate. You point out different things that could be a hazard. Different things that could help save property from being damaged, lives that could be lost. So education is one. Yeah.
Well, thank you for being on our show.
Yeah.
And it's been great. I think that's going to wrap us up for today.
Nah, that's too soon. Tell us what you want to do. You're thinking about, you need to come over and visit with us. You need to come to one of the fire stations and, visit the firehouse, have breakfast, have dinner.
Do a fireside chat in the fire station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what the life is of a firefighter is like in the city of Harrisburg. And that'd be an educational piece, not just for yourself, but also for your viewers. Your watchers can understand what we go through, maybe ride on a fire truck, experience, feel that in your heart. Like, man, this is all right.
That'd be awesome.
Like the community you grew up in, the accomplishment of giving back to the community you grew up in. You get to see everybody that you grew up with. Get out, talk to them. Educate. It's a proud accomplishment. Yes. So you got to come up one day. Bring the cameras. The crew, come on up. Y'all can have breakfast. Most of the best chefs are at the fire station too.
That'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, though, I think we're running out of time today.
Okay.
So, This has been The Spicy Slice of Life. I'm your host, Alex Atwood, and for more information on firefighting, visit Squad 1, Squad 2, or Squad 8 on Facebook, or visit harrisburg.pa.gov for more information. And that's our show.
This is one of my children's songs. It's about a boy who wanted to be a fish. Got a very singable chorus, but it's just a little difficult. I'll teach it to you, and then that way you'll have an idea of how it's going to go. It's a tongue twister. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be difficult. So the first line is, "Oh, I wish I was a fish." So you can say that back to me. Oh, I wish I was a fish. Very good. A fish I wish I was. Lovely. Why do I wish I was a fish? I wish I was because if I was a fish, I'd be swimming underneath the sea. That's why I wish I was a fish. A fish I wish I was. Oh, beautiful. But it's going to go a little quicker than that, though. Oh, I wish I was a fish I wish I was. Why do I wish I was a fish I wish I was? Because if I was a fish, I'd be swimming underneath the sea. That's why I wish I was a fish I wish I was. Did you get it? I know it's difficult. I'll slow it down just a little bit, but not too much. The song will drag on forever. Oh, I wish I was a fish I wish I was. Why do I wish I was a fish I wish I was? Because if I was a fish, I'd be swimming underneath the sea. That's why I wish I was a fish I wish I was. Now if I was a fish, I'd want to live under the sea. Sure, tanks and bowls are nice, but they are not the place for me. The ocean, it is very deep and it's extremely wide, so I can swim all over instead of just from side to side. Oh, I wish I was a fish I wish I was. Why do I wish I was a fish I wish I was? Because if I was a fish, I'd be swimming underneath the sea. That's why I wish I was a fish I wish I was. Oh, and I'd have many friends way down beneath the ocean blue. Dolphins, whales, and sharks, maybe an octopus or two. And I could play all day around the coral and the reef, and I wouldn't have to take a bath before I went to sleep. Oh, I wish I was a fish I wish I was. Why do I wish I was a fish I wish I was? Because if I was a fish, I'd be swimming underneath the sea. That's why I wish I was a fish I wish I was. Oh, and I'd be very careful when I'm swimming down below. I'd watch aboard the fishing boats and let the others know that it may be appetizing for some of them to see, but a floating worm is not the thing to eat beneath the sea. Oh, I wish I was a fish I wish I was. Why do I wish I was a fish I wish I was? Because if I was a fish, I'd be swimming underneath the sea. It's why I wish I was a fish I wish I was. Oh, I wish I was a fish I wish I was. Why do I wish I was a fish I wish I was? Because if I was a fish, I'd be swimming underneath the sea. That's why I wish I was a fish I wish I was. That's why I wish I was a fish I wish I was.